Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Avello on? Yeah. My next guest, one of my favorite guests. We're talking mostly football here. Want to see what's going on out in Vegas for the games. The great John Avello from Wynn Sportsbooks here. What's up, John?
Hey, Artie. How are you?
How you doing, brother?
I'm good.
Yeah, let's get right to it. So, what are your thoughts on Peyton and Brady? First of all, what line do you have up there?
On that game, we opened 6. We were at 5. The total 56.5.
Okay, so you opened up the Broncos 6-point favorites.
Correct.
Wow. Now, what are your feelings about that now?
Well, I went back and I looked at both teams, and I looked at when both quarterbacks have played each other in the past. They played 14 times, and Brady has won 10 of those 14.
Right.
And they're all close games. And you know what it really came down to? It came down to who made the most mistakes out of the two quarterbacks. And believe it or not, Peyton Manning has thrown 20 interceptions to Brady's 12 over the course of those 14 games. And that's really the difference, because all the games are pretty close. Some are just decided by 3 points. A lot of them are within the 7 range. That game they played earlier in the year, and I know you remember that game.
Sure.
Yeah.
The Patriots were down 20. I think it was 24-0 at the half, and the Broncos fell asleep in the second half. As a matter of fact, Peyton Manning only had about 157 yards passing that game. So I think they were so complacent on the lead that for some reason they didn't play in the second half.
Well, I don't know.
With all that being said, that means now we're playing for all the marbles, well, most of the marbles, not quite all of them here, but we'll see who makes the less mistakes.
John?
That's your winner.
Well, when I look back at that game, when they played earlier in the season, the Broncos rushed for 280 yards because the Patriots, they said, Peyton, you're not going to beat us through the air, and they sat back with 2 safeties deep, and which is an easy look to run the ball on. So Peyton was basically handing it off because that's what the defense was dictating.
Right.
And it came back to bite him.
He had about 240, 230 or 240, I believe.
Yeah, huge game for them. But basically the Patriots said, okay, we're going to give that up, but we're not going to give up the big pass plays over our safeties.
I think, John, obviously, John, what you're saying is that the turnover is going to be key, and you think it's more likely Brady will turn the ball over more with interceptions?
Yeah, so who do you like for that game, John?
It's a tough. I think overall, I think the Patriots had a remarkable year. As a matter of fact, I think Belichick deserves to be coach of the year.
Me too.
I really do, because what he's done with that team.
Or Ron Rivera.
You could say that every year with Belichick in a lot of ways. Yeah.
My point, he's got a quarterback that hates to lose, and so he's the will of the team. He makes the difference. Mm-hmm. But the Broncos are playing at home. This is Peyton Manning's second chance to win this game. Lost it last year on a fluke. His chance to win it, and I think he had a remarkable year, and I think that's going to continue on Sunday. 5 points is a little scary to give the Patriots. It's very rare you'll find that team getting points.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, here's the thing. Everyone's talking about LeGarrette Blount, the Patriots running back. He's had an incredible final 3 games. Most recent 3 games. They're running the ball 63% of the time last game, just pounding the football. But I'm saying, how are the Patriots going to run the football like that if they're behind? If Peyton Manning puts them in a hole on the scoreboard, they're not going to be running the football successfully. They just can't, because they're going to need to catch up. So that'll take them out of what they're doing best right now. And I agree with you. I think the Broncos, you can't go against them in this situation. I mean, Peyton already lost to the Patriots this year.
Right.
Do you really think a guy that's that proud and that focused and that conscientious with his study and preparation is going to let that happen again? I don't think he will.
You're right, unless it's against a coach like Belichick, a staff like he's got, and a guy like Brady. I mean, you're 100% right, though. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, John? There's the fact that Peyton Manning just will this not to happen.
Well, Peyton Manning can will it, but Brady can will it too.
You're right. That's the thing. He's up against the guy who can just give them the same business back.
I just wonder.
I'll tell you guys, as a bookmaker, these are about two of the best matchups I've ever seen for championship week.
Right.
Yeah.
The betting is going to dictate that because the money that we've written so far on these games, and we're not even to Saturday yet, which is tomorrow, is astounding. And there's going to be a lot more coming in on. The second game, we opened that game 3. We're at 3.5, and I'm taking a lot of 49er money. There's a lot of love for the 49ers. I really should be going back to 3, but I hate jumping back on those key numbers. But the 49ers are grabbing a lot of money early, and so are the Patriots. So the dogs are being played heavily so far.
Wow. Okay. So what do you think about this game in the NFC? A lot of people think the Niners are a better team, but that Seahawks at home, that defense,
Well, when you look at, again, we'll look at the matchups during the course of the year. The 49ers went to Seattle and just got ambushed there.
Yeah.
And then their one game at home, they won by 2 points. Neither quarterback, I don't believe, is going to light it up in this game. This is going to be, I expect both quarterbacks to probably be around 150 yards, 160 yards. And if you looked at both of those games I just mentioned, they were won by the running backs. Marshawn Lynch won the game for Seattle. When they were at home, he had a great game, a couple of touchdowns. And what's his name? The running back for 49ers won that game.
Frank Gore.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Frank Gore. He won that game for them. He had 100 yards. He was able to. They were able to control the clock, and that's how they won their game. So the teams are pretty evenly matched, and that's dictated by the point spread. It's 3.5. That's what you give Seattle for home field, and that's it. And so the game is right where it's supposed to be as far as spread-wise.
As a bookmaker, what are these 4 teams? Which of these 4 teams are most affected by a cold, bad weather game in the Super Bowl?
Well, when you look at all 4 teams, they play in inclement weather. The Patriots, they're probably better equipped to play in it than anyone. But the Broncos also, could have bad weather up in Denver, although they haven't had any this year. 49ers play in maybe a little bit of cooler weather, maybe some rain, not so much snow. But the quarterback, Kaepernick, played at Reno here, so he is used to some of those types of conditions. And Seattle is also more of a rain team if there's going to be any inclement weather. So, out of the 4, I think the Patriots are best equipped for 7 to 10 inches of snow, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, there you go. That makes sense.
I feel like the NFC team, whoever it is, with the running game and the hit you in the face type defense, just the toughness factor,
Right.
the non-dependence on the put the ball in the air situation. I feel like the NFC team is in great shape in cold weather, regardless of where they play or what they're accustomed to. But this Patriots team, if they make the Super Bowl, the way they have been running the football, that I agree with you, John. I mean, I think they're used to it, they're accustomed to it, and the way that they're running the football really helps them out.
What do you think as a whole with Kaepernick and Wilson? I mean, but mostly Kaepernick. What do you see like a future for this guy? Do you think he's too inconsistent? You think he's going to settle in and become like a Hall of Fame type quarterback?
No, he's not. It's too early to say, Artie. I mean, this is only the kid's second year, really. And, what I've seen from him, he's a decent passer. He certainly, has a will to win. He can take off with the ball, and he's really strong.
Right.
And so when he gets hit running with the ball, it's basically like a running back getting hit. I don't know what where a guy like that stands overall in the NFL. I mean, when you look at your top-notch quarterback, well, here's your 2 top ones, I guess, maybe of all time playing against each other on Sunday.
Right.
They're not running quarterbacks. They're smart. They read defense as well. Yeah, it'll take off with the ball when they need to, but it's rare that they will do that. But they're just great all around at the game. So what does that mean for Kaepernick long term? I don't know. But so far it's worked for the 49ers. He did get to the Super Bowl, and he's positioned again to get there a second time. So whatever he has works for that team.
Real quick here, do you have a prediction, an official prediction the two teams will see in the bowl?
Well, not really, but I can tell you that it won't matter for us in Las Vegas because all 4 matchups will be a good matchup for Super Bowl. We actually have the lines up in case they do go. We have the 49ers and the Seahawks, both a 1-point favorite over the Broncos, and the 49ers over the Patriots 3 and 3.5, and the Seahawks 3.5 over the Patriots. We did have the 49ers 4 over the Patriots, and they took that. So there's been a little movement, but that's a good indication of what your Super Bowl line's going to be.
Cool. All right. Well, of course, we'll talk to you before the bowl again, John. Thanks so much, buddy.
You're welcome, guys. Have a good night.
The great John Avello from the Wynn Sportsbook in Vegas. The good thing is it does look, for everybody's opinion, expert and whoever, they think these are great games coming up. I can't wait for Sunday. I've been, for the first time, a non-Giant championship game Sunday has been really piquing my interest this much. All right, we got to take a break. Back after this.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.